this huge media merger where Netflix and HBO Max are trying to create a monopoly over streaming. This become this massive behemoth taking up so much of the audience space and then squeezing out everyone else. Comes at a time when Disney Plus, as we know, has been crashing all around the world. And Netflix wants to come in and gobble it up. Why do they want to do that? Well, it's very simple. Because all the way back in 2018, Netflix signed a huge deal with who? Barack and Michelle Obama. And then they put Susan Rice on the board of Netflix. And then Susan Rice went back into the Biden administration. Then she came back to Netflix in 2023. And guess what Susan Rice did right after she came back to Netflix? Oh, that's right. She extended the Netflix deal with Obama and with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Okay. So Obama Netflix is now looking to take over, right? To take over Warner Brothers HBO. And does anyone remember around 2018, why was it that Netflix just seemed to kind of go crazy? Where shows that were good all of a sudden became super woke. You needed LGBT themes and everything. You needed racial themes and anything. Why did that happen? Why? All you have to do is go back and look that it was 2018 was the year when Barack Obama and Michelle Obama signed a massive deal with Netflix. And so Stranger Things, where if you go back to season 1, was just a great show about small town mystery series set in the 1980s. Let's go and look at what Stranger Things put in their season opener this year. And that's that was the video that I've been saying is, I'm just going to call it out. It's pedo programming. It's what it is. It's pedo programming right there on Netflix in a show that is marketed to children. I want to bring on now author Peachy Keenan, herself a mom, to get her take on all of this. Peachy, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Jack?
I'm angry. I'm outraged because, you're seeing this stuff where Netflix, which has just been an absolute atrocity it's like a war crime in terms of, entertainment media pushing wokeness. It's one of the biggest propaganda pushers of wokeness, of lies, of just absolute insane, deranged content. They had that trans writer who, in a trans kids show, who was like bad-mouthing Charlie Kirk right after he died. Again, another Netflix show, gayness injected in everything for kids. Should we actually, there's the Stranger Things piece and the WB piece. What is your take? Just run with it. Peachy Keenan.
Yeah, I was watching the premiere with my kids. And that was the opening moment. And honestly, it's hard to watch. I mean, he lovingly caresses his face. It's like they linger on that for so long that it's like, oh, okay, I get it. What other interpretation can you possibly make? I mean, is Vecna is gay also? Like the bad guy is gay? That's sort of like, oh, what?
So by the way, if you caught and we're going to put a special out on this because we're clipping it. We did a whole special on this on Thought Crime last night with me and the Thought Crime gang. And so I referred to this new season as being very clear because it's a retcon. They're going back to season 1 and now changing the entire series, right? This scene is not a season 5 scene. This is a season 1 scene because Will is still a little boy. And so now this makes the entire show of Stranger Things now essentially gay Darth Vader and gay Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, and I think it is apparent that was probably not the intention in season one, and they have gone back and kind of
No, of
recreated
course not.
this.
That was the pre-Obama Netflix. I'm
Right.
trying to like that in pre-Obama Netflix. It was like nostalgia, and we got synth music, and they're riding bikes. Or look, walkie-talkies like ET. That's all it was. It was just a fun. And by the way, here's what's so great. You go to season 1 and 2 of the program. What was it actually about? It was about MK Ultra. They're MK Ultraing us in a show that used to be about MK Ultra. The psyops do not stop, Peachy. The psyops do not stop.
They really don't. I mean, the Duffer Brothers, I mean, I was actually looking into their backgrounds. They don't seem to be like these sort of supervillains. But then when they had in the new season, the like new footage they recreated of the two male main characters as little best friends. They were Mike and Will, best friends. And now they're kind of implying that that's when they first fell in love as little 5 and 6 year old boys on the swing set. It wasn't just here's where the two best friends met and bonded. It's like the secret unrequited crush that I think is going to be explored in the next few episodes. But then you're saying, okay,
so this is exactly what we were talking. No, this is exactly what we were talking about on the show last night, because this was my theory, and producer Files on the show, who I keep telling him he's got to come on because he's got all these great theories about it, and he won't come. He's never been on the show, and we totally agree that when you look at that montage of Will and Mike, and this is even younger, that it's
Right.
done as like a romance montage, like you would see in the 1980s, but in an actual 80s movie, it would be a boy and a girl.
Right. They've sort of like turned the whole thing on its head. And like also the weird thing is there's two of the main characters are gay. There's a lesbian and a lesbian couple and a gay couple. And it's a very small group of friends. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and I don't remember people having like that many, openly gay teenage friends. It just like sort of, it wasn't really a gay thing. I'm sure they were around and stuff, but it didn't become the centerpiece of anyone's life. It wasn't really something you cared about or even talked about.
It just wasn't a thing. No, it wasn't a thing in the 80s. It was not.
And so I just think the choice to have the kind of like, tube into the little boy's mouth, there's other ways for a supernatural bad guy to kind of get his bad ideas into you. There's all kinds of things you could do. He's telepathic. He could telepathically, kind of take his brain, the mind flayer thing. Why the like, visceral, like slimy tube down his throat? I mean, and it like lingered. It's just the lingering and the lovingness, and Vecna with this sort of orgasmic, ecstatic look on his face. We get it. And so what is that? Is that just people at Netflix are so porn brained? Are they, what are they watching in their free time? What are they thinking about in their free time? It's also very lazy. He's gay because he was molested as a child by this, demon. That's like, okay, that's like very kind of surface and just feels very kind of cliche and generic, frankly. Like, isn't there something else here? Something more creative you could come up with?